Good morning, guys. Kalimera from Cyprus. This is George. I did buy this book that was recommended to me by Matt's Like Mac. Thank you, Mac, for the recommendation. I'll just start by saying that in order for someone to teach something, you know, he first needs to understand it. And to be really honest with you, I found it a very, very difficult read, and probably why Matt Slide wanted me to have a look at it as well, because I found it quite difficult to interpret. The writing itself is not very good, to be honest with you, and it has not been spell checked or anything like that. It's a huge book. I had the chance to read it cover to cover. Unfortunately, there are some pages that I had to just skip through, especially these ones. The reason being that these are modelings that the author provided to indicate with empirical evidence how the systems that he would use would actually have a better outcome than the usual betting that we do. So anyway, the book is called Height on Casino Craps Cash Flow Investment Programs. He draws a similarity of craps to, or a craps bettor or investor as he calls them, to a stock trader who is buying futures. And I can understand that. Basically, a futures trader is going to purchase put or put or call options. So a put option is you buy something which gives you the right to sell in the future, and that would be, the analogy to that would be a don't player, somebody who is betting on the 7. And then you have the call options bought by stock traders, where it's in terms of stocks, you buy the option to buy in the future that particular stock. So that would be the do-siders, basically, the ones playing the pass line and the place bets. He talks about linear betting and how he believes that linear betting cannot work in the long term, or for let's say the total of people actually playing at the craps table, because simply some of them will lose, others will win, and over a long period of time they use their edge to cancel all the profits out, and all the profits made by the shooters and the bettors, and still make a good profit. So the example given here is the example of a martingale system, where martingale is a linear betting system and a progression system, and the casino will take care of that during a long roll, and it will take care of that in the sense that somebody who does the progression correctly is going to hit the table maximum very quickly. And I can draw a parallel to climb the ladder as well, whereby if there is a precision shooter there who just simply declines to throw a 7, you will possibly get to a position where either your bankroll is going to be very low or non-existent, or you will hit the table limit. So yes, I can understand what he's saying. He talks about aggressive and against aggressive and defensive strategies and when to use each one of them. He recognizes that there are precision shooters out there, and if that is the case, then an aggressive betting strategy should be adopted, and that the casino edge simply does not exist when you recognize that this person is a precision shooter. And he he really wants to market round robin rotations. Now, round robin rotations, from what I understand, is basically used in computing to schedule tasks in a certain way that makes the tasking more efficient. When you have a lot of batches of things to be processed, and you have a lot of computer cores and threads, so you can split the jobs equally to the point where every job is done quickly and effectively. Now, the way I think, and I'm not sure, and that's the point that this book actually fails to address this issue, is by giving the practical examples of, let's say, a 5 was rolled, a 6 was rolled. He doesn't go into that, and it becomes very mathematical very quickly. And this is why the matrices that he uses are a bit difficult to explain. Therefore, I'm not the person to actually explain this. I'll just skim through the contents page so that just talks in general: futures purchase at casino, game structure, barriers to winning at craps, mathematical expectations. He talks about advice and advisors, and basically he recognizes that a lot of the advice that people will give at the casino are the wrong type of advice, and you should not take that advice, especially from dealers, because they are told to say certain things and to market certain bets and to press certain bets, etc., etc. So you should not adopt that. And I do agree with what he's saying. I think you should have a strategy, and I think you should be very disciplined in how you actually put that strategy at work. He goes through algorithms and applications. Now, an algorithm is basically a mathematical equation that has, a specific task to achieve. And applications, I suppose it's the way you apply these algorithms. He talks about matrices and matrix decision making, 4x4 matrices, 3x3 matrices, and 2x2 matrices. He talks about pattern betting, which means that if you bet in a certain pattern, it will not be recognized by the casino counter strategy, and you will have a better chance at winning. For example, by doing a 1, then bet 3, then bet 5, then reset to 1 without any special event happening, but having certain rules in the way when to progress and when to regress down to the 1. He talks about something called building the synthetic casino and betting hybrid matrix boxes. He talks about different ledgers that you should be using. So at each number should be considered a different ledger, and you should be applying, let's say, a matrix decision to each ledger in order to be able to beat the casino, because the casino has a very general, quite contextual strategy how to win, as opposed to you having a specific and sometimes not recognizable strategy, which is, it looks a bit random. So I think that's as much as I really understood on this. So I don't think it was my best read on this, but I am sure that it could have been written a lot better, to be honest with you. It could have had a lot more examples. And what I mean by that, I mean practical examples, to the point of the author saying, let's say a 5, an 8, a 6, a 10, a 4, a 7 was rolled. If we had applied this strategy, blah, 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 this would happen. If not, then the casino strategy is such that it will wipe you out. Things like that. I have not seen anywhere in this book anything which resembles something that I can relate to as a craps better or a shooter or whatever, or somebody who likes the game. So all in all, yes, an addition to my knowledge base, but I would expect to read something which made more sense to me in practical terms. So thank you very much, guys. Thank you for bearing with me on this Saturday morning. Still wish you a pleasant weekend. Hope everybody's having fun away from their tables, and catch you soon. This is George from Cyprus. Bye.